The Cryptic Collection, Part 3.
A few years ago, my older brother went crazy. He stabbed my sister to death and attacked my parents. The police managed to subdue him before he killed them too. He's been in a mental hospital ever since, and we never visit him. This morning, we got a letter from him in the mail. The postmark was yesterday. I opened it, and inside, I found a strange note. It read, "Tonight the wind blows colder still. All I know is darkness, never light. The pain will break strongest hearts. My dreams still escape my grasp." I couldn't make sense of it, so I went to the kitchen and gave it to my mother. As soon as she finished reading it, her face went pale and the note slipped from her fingers. She rushed to the front door and started screaming. Yesterday, I went to the library to borrow some books. I asked the librarian where the horror section was, and she directed me to some shelves that were in the corner against the wall. I was browsing through the titles when I came to a gap in the books and a cute girl peering through at me from the other side. Our eyes met for a moment, and then she smiled. I spent 10 minutes trying to work up the courage to start a conversation with her, but in the end, I just picked out 3 books and brought them over to the librarian's counter. Why am I such a wuss? If I had been brave enough to talk to that girl, I could have maybe got her number. I was delivering a pizza to an old apartment building in a bad area of the town. When I pushed the button to call for an elevator, the doors opened immediately. Suddenly, this woman ran out screaming with this crazy look on her face. She ran out of the building before I could even say a word. Some people are just weird. I looked inside the elevator just to check for any scary murderers. Nope, nothing. But I still ended up taking the stairs. A few days ago, my boyfriend sent me an email with a video link in it. When I watched the video, I was horrified. It showed him committing suicide. In the video, he tied a rope around his neck and jumped off a chair. How could he send me something like that? His funeral is tomorrow, but I can't bring myself to go. Am I a bad person? My mom treats my girlfriend like crap. Whenever we come over to visit, she never sets out a place for her. Today, when she was cleaning, she grabbed her and called her dirty and tried to throw her in the closet. That was too much for me. I shouted, "Mom, don't treat Alice that way." My mom just looked at me and said, "Alice? Who the hell is Alice?" I can't believe how rude my mom is. I've lost 3 wives. Can you believe that? Let me tell you, alcohol is a very dangerous thing. My first wife was an alcoholic. She loved to drink wine. After we were married for 2 years, she suffered from alcohol poisoning and died. My second wife was also very fond of wine. Her death was caused by her drinking too. My third wife died in a different way. She broke her neck when she fell down the stairs. She wasn't drunk though. She always refused to drink wine. I'm on holiday in Bangkok, Thailand, and I'm staying in a cheap hotel. The locals say this hotel is haunted, but you know how Thai people are. They're very superstitious. However, I did have one scary incident last night. I took a bath, and while I was blow-drying my hair, I switched on the TV. Suddenly, a horrifying old white-faced woman appeared on the screen. It frightened me so much that I dropped the hairdryer in the bathtub. That knocked out all the lights in my room. I had to rely on the light from the TV to get dressed. Then, when I went down to the lobby, I found out that my little accident had knocked out the electricity in the whole hotel. The hotel manager wasn't very happy with me. I was walking home last night when I felt the urge to go to the bathroom. I had to use a creepy old public bathroom. It was down at the end of a street full of abandoned houses. It was very scary. I went into the bathroom, opened the door of the first stall, and peeked inside. There was graffiti on the walls. On the right it said, "This bathroom is haunted." And on the left it said, "This writing will change." Creepy, huh? I went into the stall, pulled down my pants, and sat on the toilet. While I was using the bathroom, I started thinking about the strange graffiti. Maybe I'm superstitious, but I just had to take another look. On my right it said, "This bathroom is haunted," and on my left it said, "This writing will change." So if the writing didn't change, that means the bathroom isn't haunted, right? A family was taking a journey through Colorado on a cross-country bus. The parents were bringing their children to visit some relatives who lived in a remote rural area. When the bus reached the foot of a mountain, the children began complaining that they were hungry. The parents decided to get off the bus at the next shop or restaurant they passed. After a few minutes, they spotted a little roadside diner where they could all grab a bite to eat, so the wife pushed the stop button. The bus pulled over to the side of the road and the family got off, one by one. Inside the diner, the parents and children were happily eating dinner when they happened to look up at the TV. There was a news report on the screen that said a terrible accident had just taken place nearby. A bus had been crushed by falling rocks and everybody on board had been killed. The parents were shocked. It was the same bus they had just been traveling on. "I wish we had never gotten off that bus," said the wife. When the husband heard this, he spat out his food. "What are you saying?" he shouted. "How could you say that?" Then he thought for a second. "Oh, I see," he said. "You're right. We shouldn't have gotten off." Why did he say this? At the end of the war in Iraq, an American soldier made a phone call to his parents. "Hi, Mom and Dad," he said. "They'll be sending me home in a few days. When I get home, do you think I could stay with you guys for a while?" His parents were overjoyed at the news that he would be coming home. "Of course," cried his father. "You can live with us for as long as you like." "One of my buddies here has no place to go," he said. "Would you mind if he came to stay with us for a while, too?" "That's fine, son," said his mother. "Your friends are always welcome in our house." "But there's something you should know," said the son. "My buddy stepped on a landmine. He lost his arms and legs." There was a long silence on the other end of the line. "Well, that would be fine for a few days," said his mother, "but caring for a disabled person is hard. It would be a big burden for your father and I. Perhaps you can find him a nursing home or some sort of veterans hospital instead." Without another word, the son hung up the phone. The next day, the parents received a phone call from their son's commanding officer. He regretfully informed them that their son had committed suicide. The parents were devastated. A few days later, the son's corpse was flown back to the US, and his parents were there to collect the body. When they opened the coffin and saw their son, they both broke down crying. Once again, thank you for listening to another episode of the Cryptic Collection. The answers from last week are posted below. As always, next week's video will have this week's answers. If you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. And keep caution to the mysteries that surround you, or else you might be dead by midnight.